All right, here we go. Hello and welcome. Welcome to my first broadcast, my first live cast called Energy Matters. So I'll be here every Thursday at noon talking about matters of energy and minding your own energy. So this week, though, I want to talk about 2021, the year of the empath. I have coined this phrase. I believe it to be true. I believe it to be so. I am so excited about this topic and to share it with you. You are so welcome to chime in and ask questions as we go along, and to let me know who you are, where you are. So I'll be checking the chat and communicating with you guys as much as I can. And I am definitely here to serve. I'm here to answer your questions and to light a fire underneath you and maybe hopefully inspire you in certain areas of your life, to shine and to just be your highest self. So a little bit about me before we jump into the topic. I am a soul coach. I have been a professional intuitive empath reader for 12 years now. And my favorite thing in life is to empower my clients to their personal power, to their unbelievable power and strength that I think we take for granted so much. And that, one of the things I know for sure is that every single one of us is so ready to go. What's the word? We are just equipped with all of these tools and resources within us that help us heal our bodies, manifest, create anything. There's so much untapped energy here. I think some people have tapped into it and a lot of people have not. And so I'm here to help people tap into their own magnificence, their own brilliance. It's there. It's a thought away. It is a breath away. Literally. So with that said, I want to go into the topic of the empath and 2021 being the year of the empath. So a lot has been happening in the news lately in the world, right? Specifically here in the United States. And, I woke up just so giddy yesterday and I was singing It's a New Day on the top of my lungs, and I feel it in every part of my body. It's a new day. It's a new era. 2021, I've never been more excited for a year to come. I believe this year is just going to change everything and make things softer and kinder again. And people will be in a more generous and helpful energy. So a lot of things have been shifting, and it's been painful and it's been hard, especially for the empaths, having to feel all of that rough energy of the last 4 years. It just felt like we were living in a really bad reality TV show where, brute force, that solar plexus energy on steroids, blasting us all the time, and I feel like we finally broke up with our abusive boyfriend. Thank you. And now we can get on with the business of making it nice. That's why we're here. Life isn't meant to be difficult and challenging and so black and white that there has to be a winner and a loser. There's enough here for everybody. And what we have to do is learn how to manage. We can attract better. And so that's my practice. That's what I do. And they say we teach what we need to know the most, right? And I live by that. I completely 100% own that. I need to learn how to continue to learn to manage my energy better. And it's an evolution, it's a process. But I'm a highly intuitive empath, and that is a wonderful gift. And I am blessed to call myself an intuitive empath, and I'm able to take my gifts and use them to help other people. But it's not to say that I still don't have my challenges. Of course I do. I'm human. And then being an empath, you're just going to be more open and receptive to feeling a lot of energy that's around you. So, yeah, I have developed a whole world around me being an empath and using my tools. I have created and designed a business around that so that I can teach what I need the most, and I can help, excuse me, other women, especially other empaths and highly sensitive people, really learn how to harness their energy and make magic with it. You know, just there's so much magic to be had once we finally embrace our empathic nature instead of running from it. I know a lot of people run from their empathic nature for a long time. I did for years. I didn't understand it. I just wanted it gone. I wanted to push away. But it kept on following me around. You know, those persistent soul lessons that keep on repeating themselves. That's how life is designed. And it's like we keep on getting these repetitive conditions happening in our lives that our soul, our higher self, is trying to alert us to, so that we can embrace and unpack and understand the beauty and the glory and the magic that is in all of those difficulties, all of those challenges that we have. You know, I firmly believe that. You know, a lot of people are looking for their soul purpose, and it's like, man, your soul purpose is looking for you. It is knocking on your door. And one of the biggest clues is it's that repetitive condition that keeps on happening that may be a little uncomfortable. It may be even painful, you know, but it's not a condition that's here to punish you or to make life hard. It's here to grow you. All of these lessons are here to grow you. And it's just so exciting when we finally stop running from those lessons and we start unpacking them and living them and understanding what this is all about, so that we can just be living in that higher vibration, that highest version of ourselves. That's exciting stuff. And that's what I live for. And so before I go too much further into 2021 and what the year of the empath means, I want to back it up a little bit and define what an empath is, because I'm sure there are many of you going, what is an empath? Am I one? I don't know. Well, let me break it down and give you some descriptors, and you can decide if you would classify yourself as an empath. Okay. So typically, it's not one size fits all, but typically an empath is somebody who is really sensitive, very sensitive emotionally, and very sensitive to the energy and the emotions around them. So as you know, everything is energy. So everything emanates a particular frequency or vibration, every single thing, every single living thing, and even dead things. So everything is emanating this energy, and this energy is full of personality, information, past information, future information, all kinds of stuff. So the empath is just more open and receptive to feeling the energies around them. And an untrained empath, somebody who hasn't explored this part of themselves, it's overwhelming. It can feel like crazy making, where we're feeling all this energy and we just don't understand where it comes from. So one day we can be just really sad and we don't really understand why. Why are we feeling sad? So typically empaths will blame it on PMS or blame it on and it's usually self-blame. I'll blame it on myself instead of, the reality and the circumstances around. So yeah, empaths first are just highly sensitive people, highly sensitive to energy, and also highly sensitive to sensory information. So we're talking about light, we're talking about sound, we're talking about touch, everybody's got their own little quirks. I am not a big fan of sound or grating sound or commercials where people are yelling at me and trying to manipulate me and all that. So that's like it's like the chalkboard situation. And a lot of empaths are sensitive to perfumes and artificial candles and detergents and all that stuff. So the sensitivity runs on the spectrum. It's not just energetic and emotional. It's all over the place. So I know a lot of empaths who have allergies. No surprise to me right there. But when we learn this about ourselves, we can do some self-healing to rid ourselves of some of those more physical symptoms, like allergies. We can train ourselves. Another trait of empaths is they really like their alone time. They love their alone time. They must have their alone time. And it's not to say that empaths are introverts. I think introverts are a little bit different than empaths. Empaths can be very sociable and love hanging out with people, but they're picky and choosy about it, So they're going to hang around people that resonate with them, that add to their energy, not deplete it, because another trait of the empath is they get depleted really quick. They get depleted and it just feels like their batteries run low and out. Just get drained by certain people, certain energies, certain situations. And so we really have to take care of ourselves and rest when we need to, because we run the risk of burnout quite a bit. And I know I've been there. I still have those cycles of burnout. I can manage them a little better because I can feel them coming on. I know what's coming. And so I can switch things up so I don't find myself, in complete burnout where you have to run for the hills or go move or do something impetuous and insane to shake yourself back up. That's personal. So another cool thing about empaths is, they love nature. They feel the most connected when they're in nature. It's soothing to their soul. So a lot of empaths live by water. I lived by the ocean for years. And then when I moved away from the ocean, I'm like, where am I? Sometimes you don't even understand or realize the energy of things and how they're affecting you. It's quite amazing when you start waking up and then having contrasting situations that remind you of, wow, I really need to be around the water. Living inland isn't working for me. And when I lived by the water, I took it for granted completely, things like that. So, we just don't go down this list and check all the boxes. We experience these things. That's how we learn about what an empath is. And another trait of the empath is babies and animals love you. Actually, everybody loves you, but babies and animals really love you. So you'll be that person at the wedding where there's kids running around, and then they'll just be attracted to you and they'll come up and want to play with you and talk to you, tell you their life story, the whole bit. And then animals, they will, they'll be curious about you. It's like they can sense your energy and they kind of want to be around you or check you out, or something's going on with that. I get that all the time. And let's see what else about the empath. I have some notes. So let me check my notes. I don't want to miss any of the big ones. Oh yeah, empaths are typically pretty darn creative. They're solitary and usually spiritual. I would say the trained empaths are definitely, there's a couple of different levels of empath. I have a blog article on my website. In fact, it's called The 3 Levels. There's the untrained empath. That's a person who doesn't have very much awareness about their empathic nature and what's going on with them. And then there's the empowered empath. So that empowered empath starts to learn some tips and tricks to keep himself rooted and grounded, and learning techniques on how to, not absorb other people's energy and to really embody and embrace our own energy and to even raise and lower our own energy. We learn to manage it really well. It's very empowering once we're in that place. But then the third level, and this is the fun one, it's the enchanted empath. And the enchanted empath is someone who has taken her empathic nature and sees it for the superpower that it is and uses it to help other people and herself, of course, and all the people around her. But she understands the magic that comes with this sensitive nature and the ability to read people and the ability to read energy. And so she uses it to be a helper or a healer. And this is interesting. I believe, or I feel very deeply in my soul, that the main role for empaths, like, why are we here? We're here to be the helpers and the healers of the world. We feel everything. We have this tremendous empathy. Our heart chakra is just so wide open and we don't miss much, right? So we can either get into the pain of a situation and just feel like crap about it, or we can recognize, and as we become empowered, we don't have to take on the energy. We can observe it. We still observe it. We can still see it, but we don't have to take it in. And then now we can offer some help around it. Now we can lift that energy up. We can raise the energy. We can be that change we want to see in the world. It's pretty cool stuff. So a few more traits on empath. So, and then let me tell you too, I also have a quiz on my website. There's a link in the description on YouTube and in Facebook, I believe, that takes you to my quiz. It's called Are You an Empath? It's got about 16 questions, and it'll give you a score at the end of, the percentage of empath that you are. And so I would say like the 90 to 100%, they're like the hyper empaths. They're the intuitive empaths. They're like me. They're very plugged in. And then there's the moderate empaths. They're probably more grounded and able to turn it on and turn it off more at will, and not so open and receptive to every single thing. Good place to be. And then there's probably 75% and below that's just not empathic, and that's okay. Everybody's got their own special gifts, and not everybody is here to be an empath and a healer and a helper. In fact, there's probably about 20%, 25% of the population, roughly, who is classified as empathic or empaths. And then let me just clear up a little word verbiage definition about empath and empathy. So an empath, you're probably getting a really clear idea of what an empath is. And then empathy is the condition or the ability to be able to step in somebody else's shoes and to have compassion and feel for them. And I would hope and guess that most people have empathy. I have seen that some people absolutely do not, but I think that's a very small percentage of the population, but most people do. And so we can see something, we can relate to something, and we can feel for the people who are involved. So that's the difference between an empath and empathy. Empaths are open and receptive to all the energies, swimming in it constantly. Okay. So empaths can typically become pretty darn easily overwhelmed in crowds. They deal with anxiety and depression, I would say, are their two biggest obstacles. It's all manageable, though. It's all manageable. I'm here to tell you, it is not a life condition or a life label that you are destined to battle for the rest of your life. It's just a condition. It's just a sign that something is out of alignment. So my work is to help you recognize that so that you don't have to suffer with anxiety and depression. You can actually unpack that anxiety, depression, learn from it, and move on. And there's just no hard diagnosis for these things that we believe are chronic, lifelong diseases and situations. Not at all. They're just signs. Oops, we got a sign going on. Something's out of whack. Let's figure it out. Let's heal it. The empath is the healer. Once you understand your nature, once you understand it and get empowered, then you can become the enchanting one and you can start healing stuff, healing yourself, healing other people. Magic. Okay. So let's see. Oh, the empath has a tendency to support the underdog. We feel that heaviness, and I'm going to talk about that heaviness in a minute. It's really difficult to watch the news sometimes, and especially those commercials and things. A lot of people will come to you with all of their situations. So here you are minding your own business, and like a moth to a flame, people feel your energy. They feel that you're safe. They feel that you're warm. They feel that you're comforting and comfortable. So they're attracted to you. So they'll talk to you and maybe unload a lot of stuff on you. So one of the biggest lessons for us empaths is to develop boundaries and to practice boundaries in our own life, in our relationships, especially our relationships, our close relationships. And then with the perimeter of people around us as well. Of course, we want to be loving and kind, but we don't have to, sacrifice and drain ourselves for the sake of others, right? There's a balance there. All right, let's see. Can't stand interpersonal conflict. That's on my list. That is so true. Yes. So one of the things that the personality traits that I have, and that a lot of empaths have, probably most, is, our brain response, the fight, flight, or freeze response. I'm a fleer. I will run. I am not going to hang around negative energy. I'm just going to run like the wind. And I still have that impulse in me. Of course, it's ingrained in my brain, and it's something that I work on to slow it down, and to understand that not everybody understands what I'm doing when I run. And it's not always the best response. It's pretty reactive, and it could be very impetuous and lead to bigger problems or more problems. So part of the empath's journey is to recognize their responses or reactions and to purposefully and mindfully modify them so that they work better for you. If we're running away from every time we get into a squabble with a loved one, that's just not going to work for a sustainable relationship. So we have to learn how to, I don't want to say compromise, but manage that energy better. Like, instead of running away, we can say, look, I need a timeout. I need to take an hour, or whatever your time limit is. And the better thing is too, when I'm coaching couples, especially, I'll say, you need to have a plan. If you know this about yourself, you need to have this conversation with your person up front before a hairy situation happens, right? So you can have a plan. It's like, all right, here's the deal. These are my rules. Let's talk about our rules. You have your rules, I have my rules. Let's figure out how we fight well, because every couple fights, right? Not going to sugarcoat it. One of my rules was, and I actually broke up with a person because he violated it like instantly, was that when things get heated and we're going into fight mode, I can't talk right now. It's going to be ugly. I'm going to regret things. I need time to process and to calm down. So give me some time to calm down or to go away. I'll be back and then we can talk about it. But I need some space, please. And he agreed to it. And then the first time we got into a fight and I said, okay, I need to go calm down. He was relentlessly on my heels, following me, chasing me. I went into the bathroom, knocking on the door. No bueno. It's like, no, you violated my rule about that. And so when you know this about yourself, you have to have these things in place, these boundaries in place, so that you can navigate and that you can be in your sane mind to have a conversation about that fight later and make sense. And then, of course, you know, they have their way or what's required of them, what they need in that moment. And so, you know, with conversation, grownups can figure some things out, and we can create a plan that works for all parties so that we don't create that fight or flight response in each other, that we create. It's like, gosh darn it, we're not seeing this, you know, we're on different pages with this. You go your way, I'll go my way, we'll come back, you know, but we will have a conversation about this and we'll smooth it out when, you know, I'm out of my monkey mind and you're wherever you need to be, right? So there's all kinds of things that the empath needs to pack in her toolbox so that she is prepared and he is prepared to handle life and the curveballs that come. You know, because, you know, the first thing I want to do is run, and that's just not the best thing. So now I have some really good tools that I'd love to share with you and with my clients so that we can navigate this thing called life with grace and ease. Yay! Okay. Alrighty, so let's move into 2021. Woo! I am so excited for 2021. I was in tears yesterday with the inaugural process. I didn't even realize how hurt my heart has been over the last 5 years. I knew that I was in struggle. I knew that the energy sucked. I knew that I was making plans to move to Ecuador or Mexico. No kidding. I knew that I felt like hiding and being undercover, and it was hard for me to come out. I wanted to do a broadcast for a long time, but I just felt like I don't want to be in this media circus. I'm not participating. So I didn't. And then over the last couple of weeks, I got the green light. It's like, it's safe again. You can come out and play. Oh, you can come out and do your work. In fact, 2021 requires us to come out and do our work. And that's what this broadcast is all about. It's time to come out and do our work, empaths. It really is. There is a huge shift in the energy, and it is moving. It is so sweet. It's moving to a kinder, softer, gentler place. We are sick and tired of the hostility, the hatred, the division, the bigotry. Oh my gosh, sick and bored and sick of it. Just done. And so we've been done a long time. And so we just haven't been participating, a lot of us. I have not been. And I'm just like, no, go away. And if this doesn't go away, I'm going away. That was my plan. And so now I feel like, great, I can ground myself. I can do my work. I can come out and play. I can be on media and not feel, you know, the way I was feeling before, and connect for better reasons. Connect to help, connect to make soul connections, not just to be seen, and, you know, connect soul to soul, and to really hopefully inspire people to their higher selves. So it's good stuff. So I said before, the core of an empath is a healer or helper, right? And I want to share a quote with you from Mr. Rogers. He's one of my very favorite people on the planet. Love, love, love Mr. Rogers. He basically raised me. So he said, when I was a boy and I would see scary things in the news, My mother would say to me, look for the helpers. You will always find people who are helping. I love that. And what she was talking about were the empaths. The empaths are always here to help, and as much as I did run for cover, I still did my work with my clients, with my personal clients, but I didn't feel comfortable going out and doing more. And I felt guilty. It's like, I need to do more. I'm a helper and a healer, and I just feel like hiding. What do I do? So that was a little struggle that I've had over the last few years. And now I just feel like the horse is out of the barn, baby. Watch out. Here I am. Now we can get down to some work, because I think people are in a better space to receive it, to hear it, to want it, and not fight. Yay. So we're here in a place of healing. And so to all my other empaths out there, all of you who are healers and helpers, it's really time for us to show up. It's time for us to participate and engage. I know a lot of us have not been, and so it's time, and it's safe. It's a good time. I can palpably feel the energetic shift, and like I said before, I didn't even realize how much pain or heaviness the last 4 years were until yesterday when it lifted. It was like, wow, I was smothered. A lot of people were smothered. We didn't even know it. We're just in a horrible, smothering, heavy, heavy place. And now it's like, poof, it's gone. And now, like, it's a new day. The sun is out. Let's go do our work. So let's talk about what that really means for you. So I say that the empaths are here to heal the world, most definitely. But first we have to heal ourselves, right? We don't have to be completely healed. I don't think that's ever going to happen. I think we're always going to have situations that need improvement. So we're kind of always progressing and always healing and always learning as we go along. But we need to have a good grip on ourselves and what our empathic nature is and what that really means, before we can reach out and help other people. And so let me back up a little bit. I want to talk about, because what I'm guessing is that a lot of you are going, well, how do I help? How do I heal? What is my purpose here? And everybody's different. Everybody has their own unique dharma, their own purpose here. And that purpose, I said earlier, is knocking on your door. You don't have to go searching for it. It is searching for you. So it is that recurring something or another that is just in your craw, right? So turn around and open the door and look in your closet and see what's in there. Because it's like that forest for the trees where we're a tree in the forest. It's hard for us to recognize that we are in part of the forest, but we are. And so your purpose and your life purpose and your healing mission is already within you. It's already there. And so now it's just time to unpack it, look a little closer, and not try too hard. Just allow it in. You just allow that information to come to you of like, how can I help? That's a really good question. How can I help? How can I serve? These questions are going to open doors for you, most definitely, because I know for sure we live in a responsive universe. Ask and the door is open. Seek and you shall find. So when you ask an empowered question, like, how can I serve? How can I help? How can I make things better? Wait for it. The answers will come. They always do. Your job is to, aren't already clear about what your mission is, to just quiet your mind, connect with your heart space, and wait for that clarity to come. And it always does. It always does. And it usually does when you're doing something random, like washing dishes or taking a shower, right? So this isn't an efforting this is an allowing. So just allow the information to come, and it doesn't have to be a big thing. You know, we're not all born to be Mother Teresa, for example. You know, we're here to do our own gig, and that gig is yours, and it's precious. And so no comparing your gig to other people's gigs, okay? Your gig is your gig. So get into that space of embracing it. And that reminds me of, you know, the whole 2021, the year of the empath, the Matthew 5:5 verse that says, the meek will inherit the earth. I love that one. Love it. So I'm a very spiritual girl, not religious, but I study a lot of religious texts. There's a lot of information and wisdom and clarity and guidance in them, right? So the King James Version says, blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are the meek. So I thought, well, okay, let's break that down. What does meek mean? And I know a lot of people think that meek translates to weakness. Well, it doesn't. Meek actually means gentle. So the gentle will inherit the earth. And I really feel like it's time for us to take over. It's time for us to rule the land, you know, to have dominion over our earth again, and over our politics, and over the government, and over our school systems, and over our, you know, our nation and our part of the world. And so that's how we serve, you know, that is exactly, we step into our roles, and we are a cog in the wheel of making it better, of service. And so whatever your part is, just embrace it, love it, know that it's in perfect timing, and it's happening now, and it's only going to expand and unfold more and more and more. But it's just a bite at a time. It's a day at a time. You know, it's a minute at a time. So a lot of us, because we are Western people, are overachievers, and we want to do it now, and we want to see improvement now, and we want to heal everything now. Well, healing is a process. And so we can just step into this yes, I am an empath. Yes, I am a healer. Yes, I'm a helper. Use me. Show me where that is. And it could be as simple as being in the grocery store. This happens to me quite a bit. And a short little old person will be trying to reach something, and I'm 5'10". So they're like, excuse me, could you? And then I just go boop, and they give it to them. That's simple. Opening a door, smiling at a child, you know, just being the light that brings the energy of kindness to the planet. That's what the empaths' work is. We are the light workers. That's a term you don't hear much anymore, but we are the light workers. We bring light to the planet in our own unique little ways. Big ways, little ways, medium ways, doesn't matter. Size doesn't matter. Just bring the light. Light the candle. Burn the flame. And it starts here. It all starts here. And learning how to manage your own energy so that you can be of service, empath, sensitive one. Okay? I do have some tools for you for that as well. So on my website, I have created a course. It's an online course called Enchanted Empath. And it's chock full of those tools that I was talking about earlier, where you can, and they're tangible, and they're fun, and they're easy tools that you can use every single day of your life. And they are fun tools. I think I have a good sense of humor. So I like to use humor in my tools, because otherwise the energy just gets too heavy. It's like, I don't want it to be heavy. Plus I'm a Gemini. I like it light. Let's keep it on the top. I don't want to go all deep every time something happens. I want to be able to problem solve it and whoosh, 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 float it away, push it away, whatever, as quickly as possible. I don't need to process every single thing. I will pick and choose the things that I want to process, the things that are more important. But like everyday stuff that can really unhinge an empath, like my favorite, the person behind me at the grocery store who is rushing their energy on me and like, dude, it's my turn. Back off. And it's dismissive energy and it feels really disrespectful. And that one continues to teach me lessons, and I keep on getting better at the lesson with that one. And I'm so grateful for the 6 foot social distance rule. It's like, don't ever get rid of that, please. Empaths, we love the 6 foot social distance rule. Do not get rid of it. And people can't even stand that. It's like, they just have to be so close and don't have any space on the conveyor belt. It's like, oh my God, there's space. I must put something on the conveyor belt or whatever that thing is called. And it's like, no, you don't. It's continuously moving. You'll get your turn. Chill, So when that energy happens, it's less now. Silver linings, pandemic. I remember, just being so affected by that earlier in my life, where I would make myself smaller and I would shrink away. It's kind of like with the man spreading thing, the polite girls, we just shrink away and make space for them and allow them to spread all over the hells no, not anymore, people. This empath is empowered and enchanted. And so I can bend the energy around me now. I learned and continue to develop and learn new tricks and tips. And here's my favorite. It's straight out of the 70s. It is my Wonder Woman stance. So when I'm in that grocery store and that person's doing that energetic bullshit, pushy energy on me, I will get into my biggest Wonder Woman stance and I will put my arms out wide, my elbows out wide. I will take up as much space as I want. I will puff my chest and I will spread my legs, my hips, and I will stand firmly in my little checkout session. It's like, dude, this is my session. You will have yours in a moment. But I'm owning this and I'm owning my space and I'm owning my time and I deserve to be here too. And so I will stand there and I will, and when I'm doing it, I giggle because it's silly. And as I'm giggling because it's silly, I am lifting my energy from grumpy, get off my ass to, I'm Wonder Woman, So it's a win-win kind of tool that you can use, and it's fun and funny. It's like, how often do you get to stand like Wonder Woman? And you can just be casual about it too. They don't know exactly what you're doing. Oh, and then if they continue to have that pointy energy, I call it, I have my Wonder Woman bracelets on, right? So I can deflect all their crap. It's like, whatever, that's yours, not mine, not taking it, burp, burp, right back at you. Oh, I'm going to stand here until my turn's over. And you can just have fun with this so that we don't have to get all grumpy and walk away with that and mutter under our breath and have this energy affect us for 2 hours. We can basically own it, and we can take that energy and literally bend it to our will. This is the fun stuff. So anyway, you can learn all those tips and tricks in my course, Enchanted Empath. The link is below, and you can check out my website. It's charlenemurphy.com/enchanted-empath. And it's a course, it's an online course. You'll have access to it forever. But it's such useful, tangible stuff for every empath. I think every empath needs this just to get through the dailies in life, right? All right. So I want to thank you all for being here with me and spending your time and energy here, and maybe listening to this later in my podcast, Energy Matters. You can find me at charlenemurphy.com. I'm here to serve. And we'll be talking about empaths and empath issues for the next few episodes. So I encourage all you empaths to tune in. This is good information for you to have, very empowering information for you to have. And again, take that quiz, see where you are on the scale. Check out the other resources that I have on my website about empaths. And I will see you here next week. Okay? All right, everybody. Thanks again for being here. Have a great week. And until I see you next time, take